After an insanely long time, I'm back to making a video, with a hope that I might be able to bring something good to the table, as I have always tried to do. I spent almost 2.5 years, thinking that maybe I have made enough videos such that I will start getting into the rhythm, and get the minimal amount of traction that may be required to know that what we're doing is good enough to continue with. But that wasn't good enough. After spending enough energy about cursing the other creators who got it, the place, by doing all sorts of unnecessary and nasty things, I started to introspect. Although, the introspection is not done yet, I think I have done enough of it to begin writing about this concept in my perspective and put up some opinions. Why do I have to constantly repeat the word enough until you start telling me the same word about my video dumping? In mathematics, we learned about the phrase, if and only if, and its application in real life. Also called as necessary and sufficient condition. In this context of the video, there is no necessary condition. But there are sufficient conditions. I won't go so far as to say that there are equivalent concepts in life, but the implications of eliminating the word enough from your life are somewhat mathematical. Let me explain by giving out a couple of examples. Let's start with the birth of all of us. When we're born, people shower us with gifts and toys. Way beyond our recognition and capacity to grasp. They have good feelings behind it most of the time, but what they fail to understand is that when we're given way more than enough, it creates a blockade of emotions and physical activity, forming a vicious loop of inactivity or lack of sticking to one thing for a long period of time. Next up is education. We start our education with kindergarten levels and almost all of us end up at matriculation or completion of high school depending on the context and policy of the country. Nearly 70% of the people find jobs on that basis and start building up the money that they need to make a home, form family, and continue with their lives ahead. Some complete their first degree, some complete their second, and very few complete their third, depending on the profile of work. Whether everyone reaches their goal or not, is another discussion. But it happens that when someone has way more than enough of education, they are overqualified and get stuck. Does it mean that people shouldn't go to pursue the higher education? No. But if the acquired resource can't be put up to use, then it is a wastage, no matter how hard you've worked for it. Let's dive in the pool of money now. You can earn a measurable amount of money, but if it cannot be spent, what is the use of it? I have an opinion that earning a decent amount of money universally can make your life better. Earning too much or too less is equally putting you in the spot of misery. These days, a miserable man can look good in suits and bad in rags. But they are two sides of the same coin. I can find out and give more examples, but that is not my purpose for this video, to bombard you with examples. You can figure the rest of the examples on your own by applying what I'll state here. When there is enough, the world or any system in the world can make progress or sustain, giving good results for a long time. But when there is too much for too long, the system is surely going to collapse into nothingness. So one is left with a choice about how to approach enoughness, I know there is no such term, and avoid collapse of their own system or the surroundings. There's one quote which says that, there is enough for everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed. I'll add one more. I say, let there be enough, that everyone becomes happy. Thanks for watching.